Welcome back to the Lanterne Rouge Cycling Podcast, the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift Stage 6, as well as Vuelta Burgos, Tour de Polonia. All three races today I think were very, very good, with maybe not surprising winners in all of them, infrequent winners in the men's ones, and a deserved winner in the women's race. We have a hilly race, Montbrison to Tournon-sur-Rhône, 153 kilometers long. And it's hilly, but it's not as hard the climbs as yesterday. Yes, there's 2.5k elevation gain, but let's look at the gradients. Col de la Louvesque, 8.6k's 5%. Côte de Boucle-le-Roi, 4k's 5.6%. And then it's, a false slight downhill, a punchy bit, which I think I made up was steeper than it was. I think I've been done by the profile then. I said that was literally like the murder, like 25%. It wasn't.
Yeah, I was expecting like a wall. I was
like,
starting
where's
to
the
warn
wall?
every WhatsApp chat I was in. I was like, well, watch out. 800-meter wall according to Patrick. And everybody was like, it's a bump.
I get looking, I was like, where's the wall? I was like, why are they riding with Jerry? She's just going to drop them on the wall. And then it was false like uphill. I was like, something's not correct here. They've obviously got an excavator and landscape this since I reported that it was 20% wall. So there wasn't a wall where the bony sprint was. Descent, and then last 7Ks were flat to the finish. We have a more established GC situation after yesterday, with Reusser in the GC lead by 12 seconds. A solid minute gap then from Demi to Kasia in third, and then another solid minute 20 from her to her teammate. 1.5 minutes to someone who's not her teammate in fifth, Vladarchik. So pretty established, UAE 5-6. And then reasonable gaps are along the top 10. Niedermeyer took the white jersey yesterday from Blasi, which tricked me today. QOM, Puck is looking good for that. So the stage started, and again, it was quite a closed race until some familiar foes were in the break again, Benji.
Yep, that's true. We had a... to be honest, I was vibing a lot with Sticker today, because we didn't have a broadcast from the start today, so we had to try and figure out what was happening in the race in the first half. And to be honest, it was kind of a closed race. We had QOM points going to Pietersen from the peloton, I'm pretty sure. Then later we had Anna van der Breggen getting dropped before the broadcast even started, so I was really confused there. But she's clearly not at her level, or she came back afterwards. So I'm still trying to figure it out. 80 kilometers to go, broadcast starts, Patrick, and we've got a 3-rider breakaway. Noskova from Cofidis, who's already gone in the break a couple of times and I think was second in the QOM classification, takes a few points here, but on net positive for Pietersen even today, I would say. Alrud for UNOX was also here, and Adegeest was there for Little Trek. So that's our 3-women breakaway. Gap goes up to roughly a minute, and we see EF starting to control. And this is in that middle zone of the stage, Patrick. The rolling climbs, won't call them hills. The rolling medium mountains maybe is how I'd classify them. And they've got two options here. They've got Rug as a versatile sprinter. And in addition to that, they've got Kerbao as the descent attacker. And I gotta confess, I didn't really know who they were going for at this point in the race. We noticed that maybe 20 kilometers later in the downhill of that climb they were on, Géry was starting to gap people in the descent. So she's actually a really notably good descender based on what I've seen today. But then on the next climb, Patrick, Col de la Louvesque, Valliere starts spacing, Kerbal in the wheel, and the tempo to me looks harder than if you would pace for Rug. So
yeah, because you're not chasing anything.
Yeah, I feel like I'm leaning towards them right now, setting up an attack by Kerbal.
Bear in mind, Kerbal's also in GC. So, or not in GC, but I mean, she's in the top 10. Last year, she came 8th in GC, and to finish in the top 10, she has to also take time on these sort of stages. She's going to get dropped on Ventoux by the Fisher Blacks of the world, I would expect. So, or even ferran-prevot should probably drop Kerbal still on the Ventoux. So she's got to be aggressive on these sort of stages. But yeah, they got loads of options actually. Also, like, what's the chance Rook wins versus KLCP Vladarchik Géry? She has a chance. Yeah. It's not a guarantee, though.
I agree. It's not even 50-50. I think there's like in such a situation, you never know who's going to win. And Rug is a rider that can compete in these reduced sprint victories. But then on the other hand, you've got Jerry, you said it, KLCP, for example. Pieterse is not slow. And I feel like at this point in the race, during this EF pacing, there might have been a mechanical for Kim Lecour-Pinar, who then was behind for a bit, then eventually came back, I think, when the tempo slowed down. But this is where the breakaway basically got caught initially by that EF pacing. But the one thing that I think happened at the end of this climb, I'm not completely sure if it was on this climb or just after, was that we saw a rolling attack by Blasi, I think. And after that, it wasn't EF anymore controlling it, turned into FDG Suez doing so. And I think for the next 20 kilometers, not that much happened. Maybe a rolling attack here or there, but it's fair to say the big move happens with 32 kilometers to go, or that area where Jerry gets a gap in a downhill, and then we've got 4 riders closing that down with a bridging move. That includes Puk Pieterse, Kerbaol, Van Dam, ELB, who launched it first, and Leopard. So not 4, but 5 riders. Who is pacing behind?
No one for a little bit, and then suddenly Niedermayer's pacing, and you look at the ranking, and I'm like, because for some reason I thought Longoborghini was in 10th before today, and then maybe everyone else checked, like, wait, she's 5th. Like, she's lost a fair bit of time, but she's threatening the GC position of Niedermayer, and Niedermayer's not that much ahead of her. Yes, Cassia's okay and safe, but Niedermayer started today only 18 seconds ahead of Longo in 4th. So, yeah, suddenly Niedermayer has to pace, and actually Canyon SRAM needed to not let ELB go, but it happened on this descent. It was a really violent attack by Jerry, and then ELB's chasing on the flat. And actually these all-round classics riders, ELB, KLCP, Jerry, they were able to, on this rolling terrain with punch, descent, sprint out of a corner. It really put the GC riders under pressure, and Niedermayer couldn't respond. And suddenly we got a nice move. Kerbal's in it, and I think for EF this is fine because Kerbal's got a puncher's chance of. She's won solos. Did she not win a solo in the last 3Ks on a similar finish in Vuelta this year, or Burgos or something?
I think yes, it was a Spanish race.
Yeah.
I gotta confess, they kind of all look the same. The Spanish races on the women's calendar. I always forget whether it's Catalunya, whether it's Burgos, whether it's the Vuelta even.
The sprints are always insanely technical.
Yes, but I do love them. I love like the month of Spanish racing, you know?
Yeah, it was the Vuelta.
It almost feels like a 21 stage men's Vuelta.
Well, it's a full Grand Tour. It's like they extend all the race, but it was the Vuelta a España. It was the Ca Coruña stage, and yeah, she's got a puncher's chance of soloing away from this group. So, and also for her own GC position. So let her play for it. There's also the Bonies up front, and we see Niedermayer chasing. We get to this climb. There's a 4K 5% climb. De Vries drops from a group of 20. She was in top 10 on GC. Bernal's waiting for her. Ferran-Prevot is feeling better, or maybe it wasn't that hard a pace. And De Vries loses 2.5 minutes to the main GC group in 17Ks, falling way out of the top 10. And then we have, it's just Niedermayer chasing. We have a big attack from KLCP and Marcus. They anticipate from that group. I don't know when exactly it was, but again, the GC riders just couldn't respond to the explosive attack of KLCP. And the group in front stopped. So again, I'm lost here. I thought ELB was here purely for GC.
I think we have to talk about ELB a bit later once we get to the other things that also don't really make sense to me. Because you're talking about the KLCP move from the peloton still, right? With Marcus in the group?
Yeah. When KLCP went across with Marcus, but then I don't know why that group in front was stopped.
Especially when they noticed the 25% wall that Patrick manifested on today's stage.
They thought it was there and they were waiting and recovering for it.
But I agree. I was kind of expecting something to happen on this bonus. Maybe they were waiting for the actual bonus second sprint to happen, so they were trying to save to then sprint against each other. But doing that made it possible for Kim Lecour-Pinar and Rianne Marcus to bridge towards the front there. So to be clear, I want to rack up the debts that Kim Lecour-Pinar has already done. come back from a mechanical on a moment where EF was spacing. Now has bridged together with Marcus, who is a very big help when it comes to trying to bridge. So shout out to Marcus too. I've been loving her aggressive racing in this race completely. The results don't really shout it, but she's been having an impact on this race, is how I'd say it. They get to the front group just before the bonus second sprint. We get a 1v1 sprint. I must confess, I think ELB took it. I'm not completely sure.
Yeah, ELB, I think, had a KLCP.
I also don't think it will matter in the grand scheme of things.
Well,
I think it might be a...
I don't get it, right? This is what I don't mean. What I mean, rather. Why bother sprinting for some bonies if you're ELB, but then you're happy to have a completely stopped group in the last 8Ks, where you're losing time then?
Yeah, because the point you're trying to make is, in the last 7 kilometers, we see
she can't
KLCP,
win, by the way.
Yeah, we see KLCP attacking once again. And
because the group was stopped.
Yes, the tempo was ridiculously low, and the gap was going to 30, 27 seconds. Demi Voting was spacing for absolutely no reason in the group behind a group where Jerry could potentially win the stage for FDJ. So I really didn't get that either, because there's no GC danger here. Like, even with Longoborghini in 5th, I'm sorry, but he's no danger for Voting's Tour de France Femmes. You can write that down in your little back book. But KLCP's attack, I think it's in the last 6 kilometers, don't know the exact kilometer where she attacked. And the response to that is Elisa Longoborghini closing it down, but on a delayed activity because she was blocked by Van Damme on the right side of the road. So Sarah Van Damme was at the front that wouldn't close it. So ELB tried to come on the right side, got closed in, had to go on the other side, and basically started hard pacing KLCP down. I got 3 messages in the span of 30 seconds that said, why does Elisa Longoborghini have a beef with Kim Lecour-Pinard? I don't think it's related to beef. I think it's just weird strategies, because she single-handedly closes down Kim Lecour-Pinard, which takes quite a bit of time and quite a bit of effort in the process. Then the tempo dies. Then it stops again. Like you said, the gap behind becomes smaller and smaller.
Faulkner starts chasing.
Like I think that's for Rug in the second group, but your GC rider is up front, so let her take time on her competition, you know?
And Kerbal threw in a big attack after this, a big counter, I think, and that's where ELB lost me, because she cannot win the sprint, right? She's not beating all of Jerry, KLCP, Puck. It's not happening. But you can ride for your GC position.
Yep.
But then when the group, she closed down KLCP, everyone stops, bang. Kerbal attacks, bang. Rihanna Marcus attacks. And it's alternating ELB and KLCP closing all these moves.
And I think it's actually the majority that Elisa Longoborghini did, like the first Kerbal attack and then the KLCP move that we just mentioned. It's all ELB doing that long-term closing. Normally when you close something down, then you elbow at some point and you hope that someone takes over. She closes to the wheel. She doesn't want to risk the group stopping again, but when she catches the rider, then the tempo drops, and then she basically loses more seconds, like you said, than the time she would have taken in the bonus second sprint earlier in the stage. But to be clear, we're entering the last couple of kilometers now, the last 3 kilometers. We see Marcus at the back waiting for a moment to go with, and Marcus goes with about 2 kilometers to go roughly. Kim Lecour-Pinard is the one that tries to close down Marcus with Jerry and Petersen in the wheel, then a small gap between the other riders in the wheel. So to me at this point, it looks like it's KLCP, Jerry, or Petersen winning, but KLCP spending a lot of energy closing down Marcus to the point that I started getting worried that she's playing her card too early. Is that fair?
Yeah, I thought Puck and Jerry have had a free ride here. They're pretty fast. This is going to, KLCP's also had to make the effort to bridge across to this group that was already established, bridge across 40 seconds. And for her to win the sprint, when they're all in her wheel, by the way, she does get some recovery. She catches Marcus. They do stop. No one else attacks. And then, then KLCP just leads out the sprint and just dusts everybody from the wheel, like how she won Liège, Bastogne-Liège last year, winning ahead of, actually, Kerbal was second. Petersen third, Van Damme fourth, Jerry fifth, Lippert sixth, ELB seventh, Marcus eighth, and then the peloton was led in. Vladarchik actually very fast now. She's ninth on 28 seconds and beats Rug, Kopecky, Velasi. Big GC changes, a lot in changes in the top 10. De Vries drops 8 positions to 16th. ELB moves 6 to 4th, 12 seconds now ahead of Niedermeyer. KLCP moves up 4 spots into 9th on 326. Kerbal moves up a spot. So a lot of changes. QOM don't have that for you. Yes, Puck is on 47 points. Looking good for that.
It's done. I'm putting my line under it. It's done. Puck has it. I'm sorry. It's over. But that to the side, I think the way Kim LeCour-Pinard won this, like everybody talks about much of Van der Poel's win at Amstel Gold Race, but can we just talk about what she achieved here in today's stage? Mechanical coming back from the mechanical, then bridging towards the actual group ahead together with Jana Marcus, then closing down 1 or 2 moves, but then also closing down the most important last move of Jana Marcus herself with 2 fast riders in her wheel, then still launching with 300 meters to go, and scrubbing them off her feet. I'm sorry, but that is a super impressive victory. I don't think I have words to describe that.
It was really, really impressive. She won now stages 2 years in a row. Last year, she won the 5th stage, so she wins the 6th stage. Last year, she won a small group sprint against the favourites. Today, yeah, very, very impressive. We forgot to mention the Shimano neutral service vehicle was out of control when it was trying to get away from the 2 groups, but there was attacking on, and it was really close run thing with the riders. The riders were telling it to just stay behind. We saw in San Sebastian, it also affected the race. So, I also got to say, the Shimano neutral service vehicle, also why in San Seb, for example, especially a one-day race, if you flat after Murgil Tontorra, sorry, but your race is over. Whether you get a spare bike or not.
I agree, and it's kind of like the whole conversation about Alpe d'Huez, for example, at the Tour de France. Do there need to be team cars on that climb?
No. Because if you flat, just have people with bikes or wheels waiting every K and then just free it up to that checkpoint.
Free it.
But you know my view on this.
Yeah, I know your propaganda. You say ban team cars, ban Shimano cars.
Ban
Everybody
TT
needs to take
bikes.
their inner tube in their
Ban
back
fans.
pocket. Go back to the inner tubes era. Yeah, okay.
When cycling was real. You got to change your own. You have to change your own mechanicals.
Luke says 1K with a flat is a very long run on Alpe d'Huez.
Why is it? Would matter if you're flat. You're running it. 1K with a flat is very long on Alp. Luke says, yeah, but just run it. Have good teammates.
So they can run it for you?
No, so they can give you their bike or give you their wheel.
Yeah, then we get more well, that does benefit the super teams quite a bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I got to workshop that one. But yeah, great win by KLCP. Tomorrow we have the stage we've all been waiting for, from La Volte-sur-Rhône to Mont Ventoux, 150 kilometers long. It is flat. Beforehand, we can have the Mistral wind blowing in this region. I'm not sure if it is. We do have 2... they don't really look like big climbs, but we do have serious climbs at the start. The Col de la Big Limit is at the start, 7Ks, 5% in the first 15Ks. Then a descent, then the Col du Colombier. I think every climb's called the Col du Colombier. This is only 3Ks, 7%. Then we have a lot of flat for an hour and a half. Then the Col du Suzette. Do you like a crepe Suzette, Benji? 4K, 6.3%.
What is that?
That is 25Ks from the start of Bédouin, and then I'm saying this climb starts at Bédouin. I think this ain't a 15.6K climb.
Well, yes, the climb itself is 21.7 kilometers. Yeah. It's the steep segment from Bédouin that is 15.6. But we'll have a prediction on how long the climb will take.
From where?
And I know I'm massively winning the prediction contest right now, but how about we say the person who gets the most accurate prediction in terms of time on this Mont Ventoux gets 150 points.
From Saint-Estève or from Bédouin?
From Bédouin.
Oh, but it depends on the pace.
From the steep section. Saint-Estève.
So that's 15.6 Ks. Is it not? Yeah.
Yes.
54 minutes 20.
I am going to go with 54 minutes 21.
Closest to the pin wins.
Yes.
So I think
it's going to be around 56. So
is it? I'm way under. Yeah.
Well,
fuck.
that's
That means
your
I have
problem.
to. That means I have to ride like what, 17 kph, 18 kph to do my one.
I gave you a handout, but
Yeah, I've gone too fast. I think
you can cancel the points if you want.
I need someone to do a crazy performance tomorrow. So yeah, 54:20. Thank you very much. And then who is it going to be? So you still remind you from Angleroo, right? What we have seen in the race so far is not necessarily indicative of exactly where everyone sits on a 1 hour, 9% climb. Petri Stiassny, all due respect, she wasn't really a factor before the Angleroo, but then once she got to her terrain, she beat everybody on the Angleroo in the Vuelta Femenina. So Niamh Fisher-Black, she's stayed close enough. She's on 4 minutes 34. She probably wish she was on 3 minutes. But Niamh Fisher-Black's moving into the top 10 tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. I have no doubt about that. I also think that just because we've seen something this year doesn't mean it's representative of what's going to happen on Ventoux either. Because there was a renowned cycling follower on Twitter that pointed out rightfully in my WhatsApp DMs that
You have WhatsApp DMs.
Yes.
Not just messages.
Not just messages. Direct.
By
messages.
the way, Europeans, get an iPhone. It's crazy. You know who the only... Oh, shame.
What do you mean, get an iPhone? I've got
There's
one.
There's two people, and this is because he loves Australia too much. 2 people message me still on iMessage. My brother, fair enough, he's in Australia. No one in Australia has ever used WhatsApp. Plappy. Plappy uses iMessage too.
I don't know.
I love it.
use
I'm like,
WhatsApp
it makes me feel back at home. I'm not using WhatsApp.
I use MySpace to contact cyclists.
MySpace is done, right?
I think it's dead. Yes.
Yeah.
MSN Messenger, I'm going to buzz you.
MySpace had some sick tunes on there.
God, MSN Messenger was great. You could like play Minesweeper and like the OXO thingy. But either way, my point that I was trying to make, Patrick, was that renowned cycling follower pointed out that Reusser's time on Finestre isn't representative of what she might achieve because she just came back from a back injury.
Okay.
And I think that's fair.
Okay.
But I still expect Vollering to drop her.
Yeah.
I hope it's close. I hope we got a fight. Because it's close right now, eh? By the way, 12 seconds is nothing.
Reusser doesn't have to do anything.
Well,
she doesn't.
Pedal pretty fast.
Yeah, but she doesn't have to do anything.
She has to pedal 54 minutes, 21 seconds.
It depends on the shape of Demi. I mean, Demi can still drop her in Nice. But does Demi... Because the Ventoux, remember, by the way, it's in 2 parts. You got the bald part and you got the forest part. The forest part to Chalet Renard, if there's a headwind, I think there might be. The headwind is less effective there in the forest part and it's steeper. But it's far from the finish. That's where Vingegaard attacked Pog last year. If you wait to the bald part, then the pace will drop. It's also 7%, 6 to 7% for quite an extended section. And the headwind is a big factor. But Demi doesn't need to go long. Does she wait? You can also put in time, quite a bit of time, when you get to 2,000 meters in the last... I think Demi doesn't have to do anything.
Wow.
Either.
You want to lock up the Tour on Ventoux if you can, eh?
I think she can
winning is good. Someone told me yesterday.
She can drop Reusser with 3Ks to go.
I believe that Demi Vollering is going to win tomorrow. That's my take. That's also my pick. And I think that's probably also your pick. But decide.
It's not.
Like,
don't back down. Double down.
It's completely unrepresentative, like you said, of what we're going to see on Ventoux. But the fact that Reusser was seemingly so cooked after yesterday's last hill shows to me that if you continually batter her on Ventoux with a tempo, that she's going to get into trouble. And the only way which she might not is if Vollering... Then again, like, is Reusser preferring of start-stop or preferring of steady tempo? On paper, you say steady tempo for a rider like Reusser, But on the other hand, if Vollering does too much start-stop, then Reusser might recover more, you know?
The problem is if Reusser does her pace and lets Demi get a gap, I think Kassia's going to pull with Demi. Kassia Niewiadoma, this is a public service announcement to you. You can win on the Von 2 tomorrow. Do nothing. Do nothing. It's Demi who has to drop Reusser. It's Reusser who has to defend against Demi. Even sit on Reusser if you want to. If you get to the point where Valentin Paris-Pantra attacked and won from the break, or where Poggi attacked Vingegaard, Kassia can win Kassia can win on Von 2 tomorrow. But she's got to not pull with Demi.
I think that's true. I think that's fair.
She's not my pick.
Who's your pick?
Pauline Ferran-Prevot.
Okay. I don't trust it. I'm sorry. I've not seen anything to shout that. I have. You have? You mean in this race or
Sarah Gigante last year in the Giro and the Tour? I think these long climbs, it's just different.
The reason I can't approve of the message is because last year Ferran-Prevot wasn't just good on the long climb.
Yeah.
She was also one of the best punchers in the race.
Fuck, I should have picked Holmgren then. That fits my theory.
She was
better.
really good yesterday.
Holmgren fits my theory better. Did she stay same group Demi on Finestra?
Who?
Holmgren, I believe she did.
I believe she did.
Give me Holmgren.
She was
then.
second.
Give me Holmgren.
I like that pick. Niedermayer is also not a bad pick, but I think she's going to be riding for Niewiadoma, even though she has the white jersey right now. So I think they should probably both ride for themselves.
I think Kassia will just be stronger than her.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah, and
You're allowed to say that.
she just defends against UAE.
Okay, for me it's Vollering tomorrow, I'm afraid.
Okay, you're Vollering. I'm Holmgren. Niewiadoma, I would like to see punching away. Because don't forget, if you do the Schelmoser, Pellizzari, Del Toro gimmick, right? If you do their gimmick and save and save and save and refuse, no panache, no ciclismo, on the grave of Mark Matteo, just staring at your power meter. Unfortunately, it's quite effective because then at 2,000 meters, when you have anaerobic capacity left and you still do a burst, you can take a really big gap. I'd love Kassia to do that.
I think part of the reason that I don't trust Ferran-Prevot, even if she magically has her Madeleine level tomorrow, for example, then I also just expect Vollering to be a lot better than last year. Because last year, Vollering was not best Vollering.
But Ferran-Prevot's on 5 mins.
Yeah, so she might be able to get a little... I think people want to win a Von too.
But yeah, I'm saying, if we get to the Jonas 2021 situation, group of 7, there's too much headwind, Demi's got Reusser and Kassia in the wheel, you're not chasing Ferran-Prevot when she attacks.
I think someone will. I think Kassia would. I don't want to be that guy, but
Fisher Black probably would. But Fisher Black's just got to do a high pace the whole climb and do her best possible performance, and then move up on GC as much as possible.
She's also on 4 minutes 30, so same story,
Fisher Black's just got to smash it and see where she finishes. All right, I'm looking forward to it. In Tour of Poland today, we had finally not a sprint, but unfortunately we did have a mass crash. Wasn't the organizer's fault. There was just a really heavy downpour. Same thing actually happened here. Crazy hail, not in the race in Andorra, but the roads got really slick, and then there was a crash. We didn't see exactly how it happened, but there was a mass pile up. Almeida went down. A lot of the UAE boys went down again. Almeida was cut up left hip. He finished on 16 minutes today. Kosnefroy abandoned with Milano. And Gerhardt was banged up as well as Bjerg. So I think Kristen, he was held up, but maybe crashed, but not as badly. So a bad one for UAE, as well as who else DNF'd? Ballestedt he was DNS. So yeah, it's the 2 UAE boys out. They had a neutralization to attend to all the injured riders, and then they restarted. Breakaway was on 1 minute 30. They took out a lap, went straight to the finish climb. And then Timon Graat attacked. Bart Lemon bridged across with Marco Brenner. And then Lemon soloed away from him and Scaroni, who also bridged across. Lemon just held on, finishing ahead of Scaroni. Axel Laurence was best from the peloton. Finishes on 14 seconds ahead of Brenner, Barre, Bettiol, Lapera, who won the stage last year. Fisher Black, Dox, Krohn rounding up the top 10s. Quite some significant gaps. Lemon now has, apart from on Scaroni, he has 6 seconds on Scaroni, 26 seconds on Brenner, and like 28 to 33 seconds on most of the field. I would say he's a competent time trial rider.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we have quite a nice stage, actually. Similar design from Opole to Cochieres Resort. And this, I'm not making it up this time, they go up a proper goat track wall at the finish. It's a proper wall. It's cement slab spec too.
Like, the time trial at the end of the race is 12.5 kilometers.
Yeah, it's not that long.
Lemon's pretty good at that, I would say.
And there's no McNuggets here.
Caroni, there's a chance that he beats Lemon in the next two stages, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think Lemon has GC on the wraps.
Oh, come on, Benji.
Lime.
You're underrating the...
Sobrero's there, though.
You're underrating the Bucovina Resort stage.
Fisher Black, yeah, I believe in Lemmy.
Yeah.
Brother of Bart Lime. That's a horrible joke.
Thing is, yeah, he's also got the strongest team here, by far. So it's Vismas to lose in Poland. In Burgos, it was the Felix Gall show. The Benji's pick that I picked for him wins ahead of Ciccone, Pellizzari, Only. Only was very, very strong, maybe a bit, definitely too eager on the climb. Basically, Ciccone attacked first, everyone got dropped. As I said, Pellizzari will did his pacing thing, and then goal counters, stops again, Only attacks, gets rid of Ciccone, Goal is with him, Only's pacing, Goal hits him with the seated acceleration, gets him off the wheel, and that was all she wrote. Felix Gall winning his first race since the Tour de France Queen Stage 3 years ago, so he doesn't win often.
I'm sorry, but I'll just have to say, every single person that listened to yesterday's podcast knows how deeply I supported Felix Gall for this stage. I saw no other outcome than Felix Gall winning this stage, and he delivers. So what can I say? Fantastic ride by Felix Gall. I had full confidence in him. Can you please say something? Because I don't want to keep yapping bullshit.
Yeah, he's looking good. He's looking real good. I would say Felix Gall's heavy favorite for Vuelta second.
Yep, I think that's fair.
Almeida's banged up again.
Only a podium candidate for sure.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
What? You said he would win the Tour de France. I never said he couldn't win the podium the Vuelta.
But if he podiums the Vuelta, he's basically at Tour de France podium level.
That's just not true.
Pog, he's good. And then Goal, he's good.
Have you seen the level of the start list at this Vuelta?
It's not it's not deep, is it?
I give you
Enrique's
6 months of Morton nutrition plus a 6 months joint cycling training plan, and you podium this Vuelta.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm built different.
Not me.
I'm built different. Enrique was looking good, but yeah, just not he's just tuning up here. This is just training for him. And yeah, Ciccone came back actually with Pellizzari. Pellizzari came out of nowhere, trucking. They caught Only, and actually they finished second, third on 11 seconds. Mas fifth on 22 seconds. Matisse Rondel, by the way, literally good in every race he's done this year. By far, Tudor's best rider. The homegrown talent. They've got him signed till end of 2030. He's good in every race he does. Weidar seventh in a group with Torres, Berthe, Van Huffel on Picnic, Tullett, Bizio, me, and Tuckwell. Aparicio has been quite good. Tomorrow we have the easiest stage of the race, but still 2,000 meters of climbing. This is often a break stage in Burgos because no one has a sprinter, so they're like, we'll just go on the break.
Well, there's one team with a sprinter that won stage 1, which is Visma Lease Bike.
Yeah.
The question is, are they going to be willing to control, knowing they have both GC and potentially the stage on wraps? I don't know.
Visma do not have GC on wraps in Burgos, I'll tell you that.
That's not what I meant. I mean, definitely not. Nordhagen was not very good the other day. But and Van Tullet was fantastic as the as a sprint lead-out god on stage 1, but I don't think we can talk about what happened afterwards.
I think it's all right today.
Visma has to try. Like, they've got no other choice here.
Just go on the break with Brennan.
Why did Sol Quickstep bring Alberto Dainese to this race?
They think he's someone he's not, I think.
I really don't understand that.
They signed Teutenberg. No, that was announced today.
Yes, which I don't hate, actually. Like, Teutenberg was a talented rider.
He is a talented rider, yeah.
He just needs, like, someone taking a chance on him, a bit of a gamble right now, I think.
It's a tough race to have sent Dainese to.
I really don't understand that.
But like, he could never get over anything.
If you're Red Bull, you're going for Piffy or Donati here too, you know?
Are you though? You're gonna pull for Pithy. No offense to Lawrence, but
you can also put Piffy in the brake.
That's what I mean. I think we might just
I'd pull for Donati if anything. Let's go.
Yeah. Alrighty. That was Burgos. Anything else?
We're not doing a prediction contest for Burgos, I'm sorry, but
Volta Portugal, Julius Johansson won the TT yesterday ahead of Rui Oliveira, Rafael Rice. Today we had Punchy Stage.
Yeah.
Damn, that's tough for Rui Oliveira. He's still hunting that first victory. Do you reckon he gets it this week? Yeah, I think he does.
He has to, right?
Yeah.
And in Portugal as well, so there's a good vibe to it, I think.
I think that's why they're there. Alrighty. Any other news you'd like to say?
No.
All right, thanks for listening as always. We'll have Vol 2 stage tomorrow. Can't wait until then. Ciao, ciao.